Welcome to class, everyone. It's Mad, and today we are going to talk about Max Monday Gastly. Going to be starting class on October 20th all the way through the 26th. All right, for our Max Monday schedule, we had Dribber. Currently, we're on Bond Suite. So if you haven't gotten your Serena yet, go ahead get one, but only one. Gastly is still a wonderful Halloween to get, and quite honestly still is very important right now, and we will get Woobat the week after on the 27th. So Gastly's is a 649 to 702 CP. It is weak to Dark, Ghost, Ground, and Psychic. So overall, honestly, just bring in an Excadrill and you should be a-okay. You can also bring in Metagross or any other Psychic that you may have. Generally, though, my Metagross doesn't have Psychic, but it does have Dark, and you can use that as well as a 5-second move, or even another Gastly or Gengar as well, as it's pretty weak overall. But even though it is not a powerhouse at all for defense and is a glass cannon, it still can be used as a pretty good tank. It does have 37.5% fairy and grass. For bug, normal, and poison, it is at 60.9%, which is very, very powerful. And for fighting, it's an incredible 75.6. This is still our best fighting tank overall. And even for bug, normal, and poison, which we will be using in the next couple weeks, it is a very useful tank, believe it or not. For Gastly, though, its attack is 186, which is incredible for such a small Pokemon. Defense 67, stamina is 102. Its IVs, as said, is 649 to 702, and 702 is your hundo. For Gengar, we have pretty easy evolution, 25 candy for Haunter and 100 candy for Gengar. And if you trade your Haunter EX with a friend, it will cost 0 candy when traded. If you do have a lucky friend and you're interested in a Dynamax Gengar, that is one interesting trade you can do to save some candy. But generally during Halloween, Gengar, you can get an awful lot of candy to begin with. So, all in all, not really needed. You do not gain anything else because it is already pretty unique with Poison Dark, or sorry, Poison Ghost. It is a Dark Ghost Ground Psychic, 60%, 37.5% Fairy Grass, 60.9% Bug Normal Poison, 75.6 Fighting. For its attack, it is definitely up there in its pure strength. Defense is 149, which is pretty low, and stamina is 155, which is low too. But it is still a very good bug, normal, poison fighting tank because those resistances are so high. For Dynamax Gengar, we have pretty much right now, we're going to be focusing on Sucker Punch. Gmax Gengar, is going to be your main ghost type. So if you have a Dmax Gengar, you're probably going to stick with Sucker Punch. But if you want to have a ghost move, Shadow Claw is just a-okay as well. Or if you have the special lick, that is fine and dandy as well. Fighting against it, these are all of its charge moves. For the Dynamax Gastly, though, it's very simple. You just don't really need to worry a great deal too much because it is so quick to be destroyed. All right, Dynamax Gengar damage capability. Gengar is our number 2. Urshifu single is the only one stronger. And for most trainers, that is a very expensive unit because you're either putting them in max points to get as many max candies as you can. Generally, that is 10 for each 2 days. So by now, if you've been really, really good and got a lot of max point going in and out, you might be stronger with your Urshifu. But generally, most trainers should be able to get to level 40, if not level 50, to their Gengar. With overall, Urshifu single is stronger, but generally, I will say, um, generally, it's just going to be your main one. For Ghost, really the only issue with Ghost is Gmax Gengars out there. If you don't have Gmax Gengar, is your only really other viable option. Yes, we do have Sableye. There are other potential that can, but they are Gmaxes that will attack in others. So really, we don't have a great deal of choice for Ghost. So if you don't have your Gmax Gengar, then Gengar is the best Ghost. But generally, we are still going to be use Dmax at the very least for Dark and Ghost if you do not have. So for Gengar, they're both 8 in attack and 10 for the Gmax for Gengar. Tank is going to be an interesting middle. What I have, and that's highly pushed because of its super high resistances. And honestly, it is a very niche tank, but when it can be used, it is incredibly powerful. I still use Gengar as a tank, especially when I'm going against fighting normal and or poison. Those generally tend to be kind of hard to find others that have that combination. As a healer, it's pretty poor. I think I should actually decrease it for a little bit overall to a 3 instead of the 4.5, 5 that I have here. But I don't know. We really don't use it as a healer, just an attacker and occasionally as a tank. And because we use it as a tank and an attacker in its non Gmax form for Dark as well, Dmax is definitely useful. So for the overall battle plan, it's simple. Just avoid its resistances, Metagross and Excadrill, or another Gengar. Those are the ones that I highly suggest, as those are going to be your best and easy bets. Generally, though, as long as you avoid its resistances, you can be using Electric if you need as well. If you don't have a good enough Excadrill or Metagross, this is not really all that worrisome. Is it worth it for you? Yes, it's still a top-notch Pokemon. For its attack, Dmax Gengar is great for Dark until you have your Urshifu. And I mean, it's not really meaning Urshifu's not out. It is. It's not until your Urshifu can be at least level 35 or 40. And even so, I still would rather use my Gengar until my Urshifu can actually tank like my Gengar can. So generally, if you don't have a Dmax Gengar, I still highly suggest that you get one. And as I say, even for Ghost, only its Gmax is even more useful than Ghost. It's a glass cannon, but because of the strong resistance it has as a tank, it can be used as a tank as well. And as I say, there's a lot of Pokemon that I still use my Gengar as a tank, just because it could do so much damage as well with its 261 attack, with 0.5 second attacks. Gengar is really worth it when you can sneak it in as a tank. So for October 20th, we will have Absol and Houndoom as megas. And then we have our normals. And for the 27th, we will have Sableye, which is as a mega, which honestly, I need to farm a couple as well. So I'm kind of excited for the mega. And with that, that's all I have for this week for the Max Mondays. If you enjoyed the class, please like and subscribe. You can also comment down below. That helps with the algorithm. See, algorithms getting more and more messed up with AI slop. I generally try to keep this as human friendly as possible. More importantly, if you want to have my notes, you can join my Patreon. If you want to join my after class and party with me, you can also join my community and be a part of my friends list as well. You can also catch me on twitch.tv. I will be streaming live this week, next week, and a week after with some new games. I'm also going to be beta testing a new online game for Dragon Quest, which, if you're interested, is very nice and should be kind of cool. But with that, that's pretty much all I have. Class is dismissed. And more importantly, I'll try and do better next time. Bye, everyone.